You know what to do if you're still hearing the music. And with that, the music is done. I know, you're probably happier about it, all one of you. You're allowed to speak. You're allowed to say hello. Nobody's here to hurt you. If you're worried about somebody hurting you, please read my description. Read it very carefully. If you're still worried that I might hurt you, leave. I ain't forcing you to be here. I ain't never forced anything on anybody. There's been a few people that have campaigned for the ass whooping they received. Whee! So you're gonna lurk, not say hi. It's probably Phil. Phil likes to do that to me. He likes to sit there and not say anything. Of course, I hear he's been feeling under the weather. Perfect thing for a day when it's raining here, huh? Feeling under the weather. Well, alright. Nobody wants to talk. Nobody wants to say howdy. That's fine. I understand. We will get into the fun things that I have found on the internet today. Ah, there we go. Jose Cavendish. Howdy, sir. And Matthew, picking and piping.
Both are like anything but the crap that you watch on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. See, She almost knows me. I don't watch shit on Facebook. In fact, I don't turn Facebook on. It literally stays in the off position. I only use Facebook Messenger to communicate with my son because it's easier for him when he's overseas. That's a well-stated fact by me, but that's okay. So today, things that I found on the internet.
Well, that's what I meant, the internet. Nobody wants to hear the shit found on the internet.
Wait. You're going to love this one. Okay, quick socioeconomic geography problem for you. Biden claims that there are now 350 million vaccinated Americans. Now, I will repeat that. Biden claimed in a news release or press release that there are now 350 million vaccinated Americans. And then he went on to say that we just need to get a few more Americans vaccinated. Mr. Biden, there's only 335 million Americans total on the whole planet. If you've vaccinated 350 million of them, that means you've given 15 million extra shots that you didn't even have to. Actually, double that because the vaccine is 2 shots. So that would be 30 million shots you didn't have to give. By the way, howdy, Paul. Great to see you in today. Yes, that was one of the things I found on the internet. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Now, it is possible that we only have 330 million people. I added an extra 5 to what I believe the total to be, just to err in the side of possible inflation of people, being that we've been home for a year and a half, stuck at home. I'm betting somebody's been born since then.
You can't have the vaccine if you're under 12.
Oh, and you can't have the vaccine if you're under 12. So does anybody who's under 12 not count? So that really swings the number the other direction even farther. 350 million Americans have been vaccinated, which is not possible. We don't have that many Americans on the planet. I mean, does his teleprompter just not work right? I mean, I guess. I'm sure he's got a lot on his mind. Maybe he's not senile, but the dude is whack-a-freaking-doodle. Yeah, it does something like inflames the heart of children under a certain age.
How many of those were actual Americans and how many of those were aliens?
My wife brings up a good point. Maybe we did do 350 million people here in America. How many of them were illegal aliens? Hello? All right, maybe they were here on a visa and they just figured it would be easier to just go ahead and get it here. Now, Jose, I agree with you. If he had come up and said 250 million Americans, I mean, okay, that might be possible by now at such point. But he should know that there's not much more than 330 million Americans on the planet. I mean, that's just a simple. Somebody who can chew bubblegum and walk at the same time ought to know pretty much that number. I mean, not maybe down to the exact 330,755,625 people, which is just it's just a random number that I basically threw out there. But you would think president, somebody with supposedly a brain,
And then you should know how many people are paying his paycheck.
should pretty much know how many pockets he's got his hand in. That's how he gets his paycheck, how many pockets he's got his hand in. How many people are paying taxes.
Is that one or two? One.
I think that was one. My wife came out on a break. She always asks me, is that one or two? She likes those Glen cylinder-shaped disposable tobacco smoking devices. Of course, then again, I guess kind of so do I. So was anybody paying attention to the title on this video? Something else I found on the internet today, except for it wasn't on the internet. It was in my email account. YouslessTube, you know how most of us watch this show. YouslessTube, they sent me a nastygram saying that they are going to restrict my videos to people who are underage. You mean for a year I've been putting this channel is not suitable for anybody who is easily offended or under the age of 21. And they're suddenly going to come up with, we're going to restrict that to anybody who's under the age of 18. Oh, and your content is not suitable for commercials. So anybody at YouTube that wants to watch and kibitz here, I would like to first say, if you would like to do some constructive criticism, how about you help me devise that disclaimer sentence at the very front of every description, so that anybody who comes this direction will know from the get-go this might not be a safe place for their specific beliefs or attitudes. Howdy, Cliff. Great to see you there, sir. I know my content. I don't threaten anybody. I mean, there's people that feel threatened by me, I'm sure. You know what? Anybody who feels threatened by me set out to feel threatened by me, and that's their problem, not mine. I'm not threatening anybody. In fact, I'm quite a bit more inclusive of other people than most people would believe of me. Could be that I'm well traveled and I've seen how things work in other places. Oh, Martin felt very threatened as soon as he got in here. Is that because you were wearing a tutu the other night? Don't worry. If you have those intentions, you are fine here. I have family who might or might not be that way. Not me, but I don't have a problem with you living your lifestyle there. We all know Katrina is now your beard after wearing the tutu. We all understand. I'm not judging. I don't judge nothing. There's no reason to judge. And as far as women's rights, how many people do you hear say, all women should own a firearm? You want to kill rape off entirely? Arm every woman on the planet. Trust me, there will not be a rapist left alive in 3 months. On the outside, 3 years. There's bound to be some stupid guys that think that they can get away with it, even though nobody else has. Martin was the best thing that ever happened to that tutu. Oh, God. So, oh, and they said that my content is not suitable for commercials. Wow, there's a shock. Really? You want to put your commercials on my channel? Well, I want a cut of the profits. If you're going to use my channel to make money on this crap, I want a cut. So anybody at YouTube, y'all can either come in and help, or you can cut me in. Well, Martin, I'm going to tell you right now, I was informed that my content is not suitable for commercials. I got it in an email. I'm thinking about printing it and having it framed. Hang it right here on the wall behind me. Get it blown up into poster size so that I can parade around with it. Oh yeah, lots of things I could do with this. Oh yes, Jose. He definitely wore it. So yes, I'm not afraid of YouTube, owned by Google, owned by Alphabet Incorporated, started by a guy from Lansing, Michigan, and a guy from Moscow, Russia. I am not afraid of these people because they're an American-based company. And as such, they are also possibly liable if they infringe upon my First Amendment right, as long as I am not inciting violence. And I don't preach violence. The Prensado Fumas Robusto, it's not bad, but if you're trying to actually go budget. The Project 40 is going to be budget. Starts around $5, maybe up to $6. And that's retail prices. If you're getting it for cheaper, quite honestly, if you are getting an Alec Bradley anywhere cheaper than the price of $5, you're getting a steal. If it's the Project 40 and you're getting it for less than $5, you might not be getting that good of a deal, but you're still getting a deal. Well, Cliff, I believe in the Alpha and Omega, especially the way that Barry White sang it. As your first, your last, your everything. And I can't do Barry White, so don't even ask. Sorry, I cannot hit that low of a note. I also cannot do Josh Turner. I've tried a few times, but when he hits that, will you go with me? I can't hit those notes. It feels like I'm trying to pull my vocal cords out the side of my neck. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't work very well. Some people are made to sing low. And when I try to sing low, I only sing solo, as in solo, you can't hear me. But Martin, here's the simplified fact. If they decide to ban me, being that I actually have never done anything wrong according to the rules, and I read the rules, then they are just arbitrarily deciding to ban me for no specific reason, and they're giving no specific reason, so that I have no grounds to argue upon. And as such, that would be infringing upon my own personal First Amendment rights. I've actually looked all this up. I can use all the cuss words I want, as long as I put that disclaimer at the very beginning of the description. I can smoke tobacco, drink alcohol, as long as I am not breaking any physical law of any location upon where I am filming at. I'm good. Now, of course, there's a lot of people out there that think, oh, you haven't researched all that. Actually, yeah, I have. I've spent a lot of time, especially while I'm basically unemployed like I am now. Gotta tell you, y'all be worried about COVID, what is it, variant D that's now supposed to be coming through like a freight train. The predictions that I'm hearing are that if you couldn't get toilet paper when the first bout of COVID came through, you better start stocking up now. Pretty much anything you couldn't get a hold of that you really, really were worried about not being able to get a hold of, start stocking up. Because they're going to do it again. They're going to put it all back in lockdown. They're going to make it just as difficult for anybody to do anything. Because it's a whole different mutated form of this whole damn thing. There's a loose hair over here on my glasses that is bugging the crap out of me. In case y'all are wondering what in the heck I'm doing. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Uva Ilta, Boris. Very happy to see y'all. I am Pipe Monkey Gary. Howdy, sir. Cliff, I'm not saying that this COVID stuff's not out there and that it's not going to kill people. I'm not saying that at all. People are going to die from this. People died from the Spanish flu, though. You know that COVID is basically a mutated strain, whether genetically mutated in China or not. I'm not saying that. Though China knew about it way before anybody else. I can prove that. But it's a mutated strain of the flu virus. Spanish flu was a mutated strain of the flu virus. Now, if history serves me correct, Spanish flu stuck around for 2.5, 3, maybe 4 years before they finally got enough people immune to it enough that they could go back to life without worry of the Spanish flu. Martin, I agree that they have that where they can say that it's in good faith. I also have it that in good faith I can sue the crap out of them for breaking my First Amendment rights. And I've got a guy that just loves going to California to do stuff like that to them, because he gets to see 2 or 3 of his girlfriends while he's out there. He just has to have a reason to have a case. Gary, I actually have researched a lot of these viruses. We're pretty much not getting rid of this. Oh, any of y'all need proof that the Chinese knew about the COVID virus way before anybody else? I'll go back through this really quick. My wife works for a Chinese-owned company. Now, if you know about the Chinese, you know that that means that the government of China owns this company. No big deal. So, as the Chinese government owned this company, and I live in Houston, howdy DDT, aka Dan the man. Great to see you, sir. So, as I was saying, I live in Houston. I had to drive my wife all the way across town when most of the world around here was flooded, and if it wasn't for my extensive knowledge of all of the pig trails and back routes and ways that you can still get through even when everything else is shut down, I'd have never gotten her to work. And they asked, can we have our stuff and can we take it home? Maybe we can work from home during this Harvey thing. And the company line was the communist no. You will go to work or you will find another job. Well, it was during Harvey. It's a little difficult to get to work. Some of us still made it in, but that's, like I said, because of extensively knowing where in the hell I live and how to get there. But September of 2019, they suddenly pass a new system where everybody in the office needs to be able to work from home. And everybody must try it out at least one day a week for the next month. And then October, nothing in the news yet about COVID until the very end of October. Remember that statement because I remember it quite well. September, October comes through. And they basically told my wife, 3 days a week, work from home. Make sure everything works from home. Same company that said you can't do that during a hurricane is now saying take your crap home. They know something is loose. They know that it's out there. They know that everybody on the planet is going to get affected by it. They know that things are going to get shut down. And they don't want to lose money. At least not the billions that they would have been losing. So, yeah. China knew before the rest of the world. So whether it started there or was genetically modified there or whatever, you can decide for your own damn selves, but they knew. And that's as far as I'm going with COVID. Oh, and I'm not getting the shot because I was already a damn guinea pig once when I was in the Army, and I'm not doing it damn well again. And at least they paid me 95 cents an hour. To hell with a vaccine where variant D is resistant to the vaccine, so we're going to come up with something new and inject you with something else new. Great. Howdy, Odie. Great to see you there, sir. Top 5 cigars of different brands. If I had to go Cuban, Hoyo de Monterrey, Epicure number 2. Because it is the absolutely best and least counterfeited Cuban. If you really want to taste a Cuban for what it is, find a Epicure number 2. Pretty damn good chance it's not a fake, because they don't make any money on faking it because it's pretty much dirt cheap right out the box, but it's still a damn good Cuban. CAO Amazon Basin. The CAO Amazon Basin is a flavor bomb. You start smoking it, by the time you get done with it, you are looking for anything you can do to keep a hold of it so that you can not burn your fingers or your lips. I suggest a pipe. You're going to want one. Fantastic cigars. Let's see. The Fuente Don Carlos Reserva Presidente. And if you can't find the Presidente, go for the number 2. Oh yeah. Great stick. Man, great. Padrone. Don't ask me to pick one. I've never had a bad Padrone. In fact, I've once was overheard saying, if you ever find a bad Padrone, get yourself a granite tablet and chisel the date in there, because you ain't gonna find many. You are never gonna run out of space on that tablet. Doesn't matter how big you make the letters. Smoky Dan, howdy sir, great to have you in. Let's see, that would be 1, 2, 3. I believe we are up at 3. Okay, 4. The 2014 Las Calaveras. That's by Crowned Heads. Absolutely a phenomenal stick. Just pure pleasure from light to crushing it. Just, man. Alright, so we've gotten 4, and you said you wanted one of different brands. I'm going to give you one that's a little bit difficult to find. And it's a JR cigar exclusive, so you can either get it at a Casa de Montecristo or on jrcigars.com. And that is going to be Jamon. And it's made by Plasencia. And it is so damn good. It is ridiculous good. And way underpriced. But don't tell them I said that, because even retail price, it is under price. And I mean, like, fall off a cliff, way under the price that it could be at. Phenomenal stick. There you go. 5 that I would suggest. And Martin, by the way, being that your flavor profile is similar enough to my flavor profile, you should probably be scribbling those down. Oh yeah. All right, so Smoky Dan, sounds like you might have had the COVID. And Everett Young, sorry, sir, didn't see you walk in. Sorry about that. You know, I'm talking about cigars. I get a little carried away. Yeah, if you want to know if a Padrone is better or not better, then give me a list of 5 and I'll arrange them in the order I would say is probably top dog all the way down to the worst one. But meh. Except for the Damaso, I wouldn't suggest the Damaso. Padrone Damaso, you probably steer away from that one. I think Padrone should have steered away from it because it's not in their normal lineup. I think somebody wanted to give it a try, and they put enough effort into it that they let them try it. And There's something about a Padron cigar. If you've had one, you already understand what I'm talking about. There's a certain set of flavors that you're going to get from the Padron, and you pretty much are not going to get that from the Damaso line. Now, there are other really, really crazy good cigars. Actually, Hamlet is owned by Rocky Patel because it shows up in Rocky Patel boxes. Now, Smoky Dad, just remember, not everybody likes the cigar leaf flavor. And there's no crime in that. Look, it's got a certain flavor. Some people are going to really enjoy that, and some people are not. I personally have always enjoyed a great cigar, except for that very first one. That very first one, I don't think I enjoyed it much at all. Oh, and by the way, we're a little late in the show for this, but bowl call. What are you smoking and what are you smoking it in? In case anybody's confused, as per normal, this is the Friday Alec Bradley Black Market Robusto, because I don't want it to go until Chad ends his show. And now, being that you're going to be over across the pond, Gary, what tobacco blends are really your favorites? I'm going to try and steer you towards a cigar that you should be able to get in London or Liverpool, or at least somewhere in the British Isles, without having to seriously just destroy yourself trying to find it. And Carter Hall and your Peterson 2019 Christmas pipe. Always wanted either a Peterson Christmas pipe or a Dracula. I've just never pulled the trigger. Probably my fault. Sutliff crumble cake in a Savinelli 310. Very nice, Jose. Oh yeah. You know I love those D's. Romeo and Julieta 2s, yeah. Monty 4s, hell yeah. Hoy de Monterey, San Juan's, nice. And Petite Robustos, very, very nice. Ah, My Father La Bijou. It's one of my favorite My Fathers, actually. Smoked Dad, the D4 is absolutely phenomenal. Partagas D4. That's Series D number 4 for anybody who's not familiar with it. Partagas Series D number 4 is a Cuban cigar, and it is of exceptional quality. But it might be wrong for somebody's flavor profile. I'm not trying to say that it's going to be wrong. I'm just saying it might be wrong. If somebody should actually stick to a Connecticut instead of going for something that's closer to a Maduro, you know, there's room for me to suggest some cigars. Or if maybe they should go for a natural instead of either a Connecticut or a Maduro. And there's a lot of ways that I can help steer a person without being offensive. Old Dark Fire, plum pudding. Oh yeah, I forgot. Lane 1Q. Okay, so you're kind of all over the map, but you do like things with a little bit of natural sweetness. Okay. Gary, yeah, go with that Partagas D4. Just take it slow and have yourself something to drink nearby. And by something to drink, you might want something with a little sugar in it. And I would suggest nothing alcoholic on the first real shot at cigars. But that's because you really want to get to know these new flavors without having it covered up. Like, look, if you like scotch, and I love scotch, have a scotch, go ahead. But it's going to cover up some of the flavors on that cigar. The Toscano Classicos are not bad, Everett. They're not going to be like, oh my God, I got to tell everybody about them, but they're not bad. Jose, I am not the guy to tell you, mostly because my limited knowledge of their two lines there. I would love to say that I know everything about everything, but I don't. Quite honestly, I think I've had HH Rustica, and I only had a little bit of that. And I've had two of their other lines, but all right, Mr. Big Ass B, get the hell away from me. Dan, turn in your man card. That's not allowed in here. No. Okay, it's a wine flavor. It's a wine flavor infused gas station cigar. I think those should barely be called cigars, but that's because they're closer to cigarettes. But no big deal. Gary, you're right there with me then. Yeah. Just be careful on that first shot through with a cigar, because if it gives you a good nicotine hit, you could end up puking on the floor. Experience. Baron HH line has no topping and minimal casings, and is their top of the line. Okay. Now, as far as bourbon goes, don't get me going in on bourbon. I will probably put you under the table, and some of my opinions are mine and mine alone. Some of the opinions I have are almost exactly certain to piss Odie off. But because he likes to bourbon hunt, I don't give those opinions out. But I do know what a good bourbon's supposed to taste like. My opinion on bourbon is, at the end of the night, I'm pissing it all out. I'm not spending $250 on a bottle that's not going to get me any more to where I'm wanting to go than a $65 bottle. As far as flavors go, I've had them. I've been to some very expensive places and I've had them. And I can't honestly look you square in the eye and say, I prefer this ultra high dollar one that became limited and rare and therefore it's expensive as hell, better than I like Turkey Rare Breed. And if I can't look you square in the eye and say that I like it definitely better than Turkey Rare Breed, then obviously I don't like it better. I might like it as much, but then when you get to that price tag, I start feeling it, and I start looking at you and going, yeah, I just can't do it. A cigar and surveillance store? Now that's pretty interesting. Who's stealing our cigars? I don't know, but we've got a camera on them. Well, I'm going to have to step away from the Old Dark Fired anything because Old Dark Fired keeps giving me an oily taste in my mouth. Kind of like when a cigar tars up. It's just not for me. But that's my taste buds. And there's nothing wrong with your taste buds saying that you prefer something. Did y'all watch Mike's show last night where he showed you the very, very best tobacco review ever? It was of Glenn saying, I like it. And that was it. Because that is your review. Now, if you're looking for someone who has tasting notes, this is some of the flavors you might taste, and somebody that's got a reputable palate that actually knows what tobacco tastes like. But yeah, I think I like the HH line better than the others, but I like cigars. And except for an infused cigar, all the flavor that you get comes from all the time it took that leaf to grow, reach maturity, how it was aged, how it was treated, how it was cured. There's thousands of things that could take a cigar and change that flavor. But the ones that come out consistent, those tend to be the ones I like. How's that for a YouTube commercial? Go ahead, YouTube. Tell me I'm wrong. Odie, that is very true. And if I could afford a Bugatti, but I lived in London, I would still get a Ford Escort because you can't get above 20 miles an hour inside the city. What's it matter that you can go 200 plus miles an hour? You can never get there. Hell, someone dents your car, it costs more than the whole Ford Escape just to sit there and get it repaired. Just a thought. And yes, some of y'all who live in London, y'all know what I'm talking about. You'll never get above 20 miles an hour in London. Hell, you're almost better off having a bicycle. Except for the fact that they'll run you over. But yes, true, Gary, very true. There's a lot of people, not all of them have cars. I did like the original setup of the show Top Gear. Really? A Vespa is the best in London? That's pushing it, Boris, but okay, I'll take your word for it. You've probably been there more recently than I have. I've only been there once. Yeah, my absolute favorite episode of Top Gear was the one where Jeremy created the Leaning Tower of Citron. Oh, God. If you've never seen that particular episode, I don't know what it's specifically called, but they basically went and made some RVs. And his was like a straight up 3-story flat on top of a Citron. And going down the road, it was wig-wagging so bad. I can't even talk about it without laughing about it. I'm sorry, the engineering side of life for me was like, oh God, no, don't do that. So I'm going to tell y'all a crazy thing I found out recently. Chile is importing sodium cyanide. So either they are preparing to do chemical and biological warfare, or they are mining the hell out of gold and silver. Being that those miners were stuck down in either a gold or a silver mine back in the day, some of y'all will remember some miners in a bad collapse in Chile. They were stuck underground for several days. Finally, some guys from Texas figured out how to get them out of there in a crazy rig drill shaft that just they were lucky enough to figure out. Yeah. But if I remember right, that was either gold or silver. So I'm thinking that they're importing sodium cyanide so that they can get more of the ore out of the rocks. Common practice. Quite common. I thought it was a gold mine, Jose. I remember. I remember one of the companies that was going down there to help contacted the company I worked for, and we worked for 3 days straight to put up a high pressure oxygen pump that could be installed quickly and easily and transported without a whole lot of problems. I don't know if it ever got used, but somebody was. Right, Dan? Yeah, there it is. Howdy, Skip. Great to have you in today, sir. So glad you're not wearing your Gumby suits anymore. You probably are as well. By the way, congratulations to Canada women's football. Y'all got a gold medal in soccer at the Tokyo Olympics. U.S. ladies took bronze, which is respectable considering all the competition. But I'm at least nice enough to say, congratulations, Canada. Okay, starting up the little tablet. Trying to find Chad's channel. Ron, howdy, sir. Oh, very nice, Ron. Very nice. Is it just for you, was it just a mixture of cigar ash, or was there a specific cigar ash that you prefer to use? That's right, Boris. It was in a penalty shootout. It was against Sweden. And if Sweden had won, I would have been saying congratulations to Sweden. Last I looked, America has 31, 36, 31. That is not a good figure if you are a woman, but it is a good figure if you're talking about medal counts. Just say it. Not a problem, Ron. Not a problem. Like any pipe smoker should know at least this little bit of information. Even if you hate cigars, you should at least smoke 2 or 3 a year so that you have enough cigar ash to make pipe mud. Pipe mud is just distilled water and cigar ash. You mix it into a paste, and you smear it on the inside of bowls, and it forms almost like a concrete barrier. It keeps your pipes from burning out. Now, you could maybe use pipe tobacco ash, but the problem is you have to only have the ash. You can't have any of the tobacco pieces, which is very easy to do with a cigar and very hard to do with pipe tobacco. But if you're willing to give it a shot, you go right ahead. Damn it, Martin, look at you go, cracking jokes. Finally, you're cracking good ones, though. And it's Friday. Don't waste all of them right now. Come on, save a few for tonight. By the way, any of y'all watching tonight, you've got to know some things. Right after me should be Yardism. Right after Yardism should be Cane Rod, and somewhere near the end of Cane Rod, Martin starts his show. Now, if you've been living under a rock and you haven't been paying attention, or maybe you're running your whole system off of Adele, or you have an aversion to men wearing tutus, then maybe Martin's show is not right for you. But for the rest of you, pretty much if you're breathing and you like something humorous and you enjoy hanging out with friends, yeah, Martin's show's pretty decent there. Well, I wasn't going to say anything about all the shots that Martin's going to be taking. He should pretty much be vaccinated on all accounts, being that he takes 7 shots a night on Friday. Martin, I'm just waiting for what's the next one chunk of my video that you're going to take just a certain set excerpt out of and play it as a soundbite. I laugh and laugh and laugh. Then I try to piece it together with what I know that it came from, in which video it came from, and then I tell the full story of where it came from, like as if I'm offended. I'm not. But like as if I was. Oh, that sounds like fun. Oldest boxer in Olympic history. Oh, hey, United States finally won a Olympic medal in karate. The guy has a very Hispanic Latino name. So, congratulations, sir. I forgot what it is, but I'm terrible with names. If you happen to see this video somewhere later on in life, hopefully you're enjoying yourself a cigar and able to enjoy life. Hey, Martin, as soon as you start getting one that outshines them all, I'm going to put out another one, and it'll be even better. And did any of y'all see the show yesterday where I had a guy try to sell me windows? He wouldn't take a simple not interested right from the get-go. He had to sit around and wait until I had to damn near get rude with him. Don't worry, YouTube will probably come back and want to ban me because I said some things. But if you watch the whole video, then you know all I said was I was getting worried I was going to have to chase him off. Not that I'd chase him far. Probably 20 years younger than me, and if not more. I don't run into fights no more. There might have been a time. I'm old and decrepit now, and I'm not doing it. Besides that, it takes too damn long to heal up. By the way, Chad's live just showed up, and I do believe that's a picture out of Dallas right after somebody had killed a certain president. I'm not going to say which one. Well, Ron, that's wonderful news. As long as we can keep shrinking that tumor, that's going to be a good thing. You keep going to your whatever it is that you're doing. We want you to be around, sir. We definitely want you to be around. All right, so being that I guess Chad's show is up and running, he's lighting a pipe right now, so we're going to get on out of here, jump over to his show. So y'all take care. Much love, all of you. As normal, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Let's do that as best we can. As per always, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Y'all take care, and I will see you over on Chad's show real soon. Bye now.
Desert Pine Pipe.